Print on demand is really flipping hard, like really hard. And I've had this video on my mind now for a really long time. And I just think it's time to make it, to put it out there so that everyone gets a true grasp of, what a print on demand business is, what it entails, the difficulties, the easy bits, all of it. Like something that is really unfiltered, raw, not much editing or frills or fanciness happening. Just the harsh, honest truth that you might not want to hear, but I think it's really important that you do hear it. The problem that we have is lots of videos online, on YouTube specifically, will paint an amazing picture of what print on demand is. It's fast, it's easy, anyone can do it. And the issue that has is it puts your mind in this mindset of, I don't need to try hard because everyone is saying it's easy. Why aren't I not making money yet? And why is it taking so long? And you watch another video and you're like, oh, it's easy. I'm going to go copy this and I'm going to go and do that. And there's not very much direction. There's not very much clarity. And I wanted to change that. I wanted to just really tell you what it's like. I've got my notes here and there will be cuts every so often because I'll probably ramble. And I don't want to just waste your time because time is really valuable. So I will cut what I think was valuable and what isn't, and I've got my notes here so that I don't forget anything. But anyways, first things first, if you're new here or you've never seen my videos before, I'm Shimmy Morris. I make YouTube videos, I have various e-commerce businesses, and I've been in the online space, making money online, I should say, for the last 9 years, and I've done just over $1.3 million, which is, I'm happy with that. And of that, around 250,000-ish, I just dropped my slipper, 250,000-ish is related directly to print on demand. And I'm telling you this because I want you to know that I'm coming from a place of experience, and this isn't guesswork. This is what I'm telling you is how it actually was, how it was for me, and how it probably is for you and for a lot of people out there. I want to give you raw stories of what it's been like, ups and downs. And I want at the end of this video for you to be able to kind of make an informed decision if print on demand is the right business for you. And let me tell you, if at the end of this video you say, print on demand is just not for me, and this video, I don't know how long it's going to be, but let's say it's 20 minutes. Don't think that you've wasted that 20 minutes because I'm hoping that you'll learn more in this video than maybe any other video I've ever made, which is my aim. Because whether you do print on demand or you don't, or you do another business type, the concepts that I'm going to share and the stories that I plan to share in this video will help you immensely. So the idea for this video started a while ago when I sent out an email. I've got a weekly email list, and I sent out an email, and I got a lot of replies, and it's a bit upsetting, but 99% of those replies were people struggling, either with their designs, with their marketing, with uploading, what platform to use, but the overarching idea of these response emails were people were struggling. And it was really hard to read all these emails and respond to all these people because I felt bad. Is it my fault? Is it because of the videos that I have made that people have tried something not being in the right frame of mind or not understanding truly how difficult it is? Have I misled people? And I didn't want that, right? So I responded to all of these emails, and then I decided I'm going to make a video addressing the complexities of print on demand. What I hope that you understand, either before getting into it or if you're already into it, what you'll hopefully understand now to decide whether or not you want to continue with it. What annoyed me so much is that a lot of the videos on YouTube, and there are courses out there and all these things, these are seasoned sellers who are making good money from print on demand. Yet a lot of them are giving this warped perception that print on demand is fast, it's free, it's easy, anyone can do it. And let's go through it. Let's go through each element of what print on demand is and the difficulties and also the easy bits. And because there are obviously slightly easy bits compared to other business models out there, but not just that, but also how to get over certain bits. So, okay, one of the main struggles is designs. Coming up with designs. Now, there's this thought that you have to be this really creative individual to come up with good designs. And that's not necessarily the case. You don't have to be crazily creative in terms of pen to paper, but you do have to be somewhat imaginative to come up with these unique and good and funny ideas. Oh, I hit the mic there. Good and funny ideas that someone will want to wear on their chest, on a mug, on a poster, whatever. So even though you don't need to be an artist and be able to draw an amazing panda or something, I don't know, you still need to have an understanding of what people want to wear, what people will buy. And the truth is, you can learn this, So this whole concept of, I'm going to start print on demand today. I'm just going to create some basic designs, upload them to Redbubble, and I'll start making good money. No, you've got to forget all of that. That's not the case. Of every single person, I've interviewed about 20 people in the last couple of months for a podcast that I'm doing. And the common thing between everyone was the amount of time and effort and research they put in. Months and months and months learning the niche, learning what designs to be, learning what designs to make, learning what designs people will want to buy, learning what prices, all of it, really pouring hours upon hours into figuring out how to do this. And a big portion of that is the designs. So I've got a whole video coming out about how to create better designs. But long story short, your designs need to, be funny. They need to have something that will make someone want to buy it. So don't just look at what's working and copy. Don't just think, oh, this idea is trending, I'm going to create a design and upload it. There's a lot of elements that go into creating a design, just like in any other business. Let's say you're doing an Amazon business. There's a lot of elements that go into what product you want to pick, It's this concept that because print on demand is free, it should be easy and anyone can do it. And I'm going to get onto that in a second because print on demand isn't free. I don't know why people say it's completely free. It's certainly really, really cheap, but it's not free. But before I get onto that, once you're over the whole design issues and being able to come up with decent ideas, and that's a struggle in itself. And also with designs, you're going to have, designs that do really well, and then you're going to have designs that do really badly. And sometimes you're not going to be able to distinguish between why one did well and one did badly. And obviously that comes down to a lot of other factors, luck, SEO, other marketing, the trend, whatever it may be. And I'll get onto that a little bit later. But moving on from designs, you've got this huge decision as well of platform decision paralysis, which is knowing and understanding the platform you're going to go with. So with print on demand, we are, unfortunately inundated, and I say unfortunately because of this whole decision paralysis, but we are inundated with print on demand platforms that we can go for. You've got your Teesprings, now Spring, you've got your Redbubble, your Spreadshop, your Spreadshirt, your TeePublic, your TeePress, your TeeMill, your Printful, your Printify, your Amazons, your Etsy's, your eBay's, your you can even sell with Walmart now. There's just so many options out there, and some people will say upload your designs to every single option. Others will say pick one or two. It's hard knowing which ones to go for. So my advice with this decision paralysis of what platform to go for is focus on the popular platforms and then spread from there. So for example, Etsy is one of the most popular print-on-demand platforms. Amazon is one of the most popular print-on-demand platforms. They have the most traffic. They might not have the best profit margins, but they have the most potential. So it makes sense to go for a platform like that, right? Don't overthink this. Don't give yourself too much work here. Now, moving on to the major thing, which is print on demand is free. Everyone can do print on demand. You don't need a penny. I am calling BS on this. It's almost free, but it's not entirely free. For example, if you want to sell on Etsy, you're going to have to pay for every single listing that you create, which is 20 cents, which isn't much, but if you create 100 listings, that can add up quickly. And a lot of YouTubers like myself will have a link in the description where it's you get the first 40 listings for free. But besides 40 listings, because what are you going to do with 40 listings at the end of the day? If I'm being realistic with you, 40 listings isn't very many. So Etsy isn't free, okay? And then you've got the whole aspect of when you get a sale on Etsy and you have to fulfill that in, let's say, Printify or Printful, whatever platform you're using, you are actually laying out money. You're not getting the money from the customer and it's going into your bank account, and then you fulfill the order. The order's being fulfilled. So you are laying out. And this idea of laying out is scary, because what if the customer's credit card, something happens, or they want like a refund, or anything, any tons of reasons of something happening where you end up losing out. Now, in my experience, that is incredibly rare, and I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, it's really not a big deal. This whole idea of laying out, in my mind, is absolutely fine, because if you connect a credit card to, let's say, Printful or Printify, and you get a sale, your credit card will buy the item. So you're not actually laying out, your credit card's laying out, and then when the money comes in from the sale 2 or 3 days later, you pay off that credit card. That's fine. As long as you don't start using a credit card and ignore it and then rack up interest charges and late fees and all these things. No, if you're going to use a credit card, be smart about it. The other thing to consider when it comes to the cost of print on demand is, yes, if you use something like Amazon Merch on Demand, it's pretty much free. You create designs, you upload them to Amazon, you get sales, it's free. The one thing that isn't free, and this is what no one seems to talk about, is your time. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have. Time is sacred, and I don't know about you, but I hate wasting time. And I say this as someone who has been addicted to gaming for a little bit. When I say gaming, I mean one game in particular, and I'll get onto that soon. But I am a master of distraction. A pen. Let's go and play with that pen. I am. If a distraction is there, I won't be far behind it, basically. Yet, I still massively value time, which is a bit of a weird one, because if I value time so much, then why am I letting myself get distracted? That's another difficult matter. But time is really, really valuable. So even though print on demand is this free business, please bear in mind that it can take months and months and months to get sales, to put the research in, the work in, the effort in. And that period of time is costing you money. Not physically money out of your bank account, but it's costing you money in time. Time which you could have spent, actually earning money doing something else. Getting a job or doing a service-based job where you get paid per hour. So yes, print on demand is free from a physical money standpoint, but it's not free from a time standpoint. Now, in terms of what you're probably doing, which is, watching YouTube videos, maybe taking a course, implementing things you're learning, all of that. Well, you're not doing anything wrong. YouTube videos are, I think, fantastic. I watch YouTube videos all the time. I watch to learn. I watch to be entertained. More recently, I'm watching to learn. But even with print on demand, there's concepts that I'm learning and I'm testing out and I'm trying, before I make my own videos. And it's fascinating. And I don't think, even though you've got this, let put it this way. The videos that you're watching on YouTube, take it with a pinch of salt in the sense that we are trying to be positive. By us being positive, we want you to have a better reaction to the video. We want you to be positive. We want you to take this business and approach it from a positive mindset. A video like this, what I'm making now, the reason why I don't think it's made all too frequently on YouTube is because it's not looked at as potentially positive. It could be negative. People don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear harsh realities. They want to see a happy fairy world and replicate it. But that isn't always the case, which is why I decided to make this video, because I've seen firsthand, either from my emails or from the one-to-one coaching that I do, how much people struggle with print on demand and business for that matter. So I want to take the next portion of this video actually going over the true reality of starting a business yourself based on my experience. And not just that, but specifically in print on demand. And you can relate this to any business, but I'm going to talk specifically from print on demand. I've started 3 print on demand businesses amongst the many other businesses that I have started. So I think I'm a fair judgment in what it's like. Okay, so the first thing to think of is self-motivation. And this is a tough one because for some reason you are either good at this or you're bad at this. And if you're bad at this, you've really got to learn to be good at this. And it's not an easy journey. And I'll give an example. Self-motivation, what I mean by that is motivating yourself to go and do the task at hand, knowing it might not make money, it might have been a waste of your time, it's a test, you might even lose money. But it's the motivation and it's the mindset that you have to keep going, to keep trying, and that takes a lot of self-motivation because no one is going to be fighting your battles for you. You know, yes, you'll have people in your corner being like, "You've got this, you can do this," but no one is physically going to be doing the work for you, unless you're hiring people, which I have a feeling a lot of you aren't doing. And I didn't really realize how unique and valuable this concept of self-motivation was until I saw a few people around me, I'm not going to name any names, but a few people around me start businesses and struggle starting businesses, struggle with the motivation to do the work or to be positive about the work or just to kind of do something for the sake of this is going to get me somewhere at some point, I just don't know where or when. Rather than always having to have a reward for an action that you take. So if you spend an hour and a half on a design and it doesn't get you any sales, you need to be able to get over that and move on and continue working, continue creating designs and not let it bog you down. And this is something I realize a lot of people don't have because they'll let one hiccup bog them down to the point where they don't want to do it anymore, you know? And that's really sad because I always say this. I always say you're one design away. And what I mean by that is you're one design away from a potentially successful design that could get you tons of sales and completely change the landscape of your life. Imagine this, you know, you're not getting any sales. You're struggling, you're inundated with debt, you're drowning in a way. You're really worried, you're not sleeping well, but you're persevering, you're working. And one design pops off. And when I say pops off, I mean really pops off. 10 grand a month, 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand. What the hell is going on? You're making so much money, right? When that happens, what does that mean for you? How will that change your life? You know, no more debt, freedom, no more worries. You want to travel, you want to buy stuff. You just want to kind of sit on the couch and do nothing but realize you're good, you're safe. Because I can tell you the upsides of succeeding with this is amazing. It's life-changing. And it does happen for, I don't want to say everyone, but it does happen for those that persevere and those that really don't give up and those who put in a stupid amount of work when it comes to learning and implementing and all of it. It does pay off. And when it pays off, it really is, it's the best. It's really good. And that's the self-motivation that you've really got to kind of start working toward, the motivation of it's going to work. It's only a matter of time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to make sure it works. If you can have that, if you have that spark and you don't let it like die out, you're good. You're golden. Just keep at it. The next thing with a successful print-on-demand business is the time. You've got to realize it's going to take time. Okay, there isn't this get-rich-quick scheme. There isn't this overnight success. Yes, certain people experience that, and brilliant. Hats off to them. Well done. But quite honestly, someone who receives overnight success, I just think is 99% luck anyways, because if you don't put any effort in, you don't put any work in, but you get successful, then what is it? Were you given money? Was it a handout of some sort, or were you just lucky? Here's a perfect example. You're doing a maths exam, and you got a question there. You see the question, and you write an answer, and it's right. There's no working out. There's no actual thinking about it. It's just worked. I think we can both agree that that person was incredibly lucky. So that's not really impressive, is it? I know you might not care about if it's impressive. You just want to succeed. But the chances of him getting that math equation right is so unlikely. Why would you want that to be your path? If he put in all the working outs and all the research, you probably would have got it right. The same way, if you put the time in and the effort and you do all the research, you do all the work, when it comes to actually getting sales, it should happen naturally. It should just happen because you've done all the legwork already. You've done all the heavy lifting. The next concept that you're going to have to really consider is perseverance. And I've delved into this a little bit in this video, but it's basically, simply put, when times are tough, it's pushing through. When sales aren't coming in, it's pushing through. When you feel like you're drowning in debt, it's pushing through. It's constantly pushing through. Until maybe you get to the point where you're not enjoying this business to the point where you just want to try something new, fine. But what I will say is, if you give up with print on demand because it wasn't working, and then you go to another business, you will most likely give up with that too. And the reason I say this is because print on demand, and I know I've been talking about not saying this, but print on demand is one of the easiest in terms of tasks to complete businesses out there. And I'm going to explain what I mean in a second, but I just want to quickly finish this point on perseverance. And it's about continuing, whether or not you're questioning your business choices or anything, or distractions happen, because distractions will rear their ugly head every single day. And it's about whether or not you can see a distraction and maneuver around it, or you go head first into that distraction and you get distracted for 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever it is, right? The longer the distraction lasts, the less chance of you going back and doing the task at hand. This is, I think, probably will be one of the best pieces of advice in this video. And for me, it was quite unique. When I first started print on demand, I was living at home and I had very little expenses. So yes, I had those unfair advantages. A silver spoon, if you want to say it's not really a silver spoon. But I was living at home. So I didn't have rent. I was 19 years old, 18, 19. And this wasn't a risk at all. I had no family, no kids, no rent, no mortgage, no bills. Only now, well, not now, but only quite a while now, but now do I really realize the potential difficulties that so many people will face. I've got a mortgage, bills, car payments, people to be paying who are doing work for me, lots of various expenses where if I don't make it work, then bad things will happen, like I won't be able to pay the bills. And that's why you have backup funds and you have however many months in reserve and whatever. But if you are thinking about starting print on demand, or any business for that matter, I strongly, strongly advise that you have another source of income. That is a constant source of income that is just kind of covering your bills. So if you have no bills, if you're 18 and you're living at home, go for it. You don't need another source of income unless you have bills. If you have bills and they're racking up to $2,000 a month, try and make sure you have another source of income, whether it's working a day job or maybe it's half a day, maybe you're working part-time is what I'm trying to say, to pay that $2,000 or $3,000 dollars that you need to cover every month. Do that. It takes so much pressure off succeeding with your print-on-demand business or any business. And funnily enough, I actually think pressure is a good thing. Like if you have a bit of pressure to succeed, there's more chance of you succeeding. And I think that's why I did so well, is because I might not have had expenses, but I had this I had this thing where all of my friends went to university and I didn't. And I had this pressure of they're going to go to university, they're going to leave university, they're going to get jobs and they're going to start making money, and it will be good money because they would have got that degree, and I'll be here twiddling my thumbs, not knowing what to do. And it was that pressure of not wanting to fail. And I might not have had expenses, but I had a huge amount of pressure in that sense, which is why I think I did so well, because I wanted to make sure that my first 3 years in business, which would have been the 3 years my friends were in university, paid off. You know, I wanted to know that when they came out of university and they got their jobs, I wasn't just figuring it out. I was already 3 years into the game. I was doing well and I had something to show for it. And I think because of that, I was able to do so well and make so much money from it. So I think with that, it's about finding your reason, your core reason. You know, why are you doing this? Why do you want to do print on demand? Is it because everyone is saying it's easy? Is it because you want money? Is it because you love designing, you know, and you want to just give it a go? What is it? You need to get to the core of it. Is it because you have this relentless drive to succeed and you want print on demand to be the vehicle that gets you there? Whatever it is, it's fine. There's no wrong and there's no right. But you need to have something. If you don't know why you're doing it, then don't do it. You've got to have a really strong driving force. And I want to just quickly say, because I don't want this video to go on for too long. You know, I just wanted, again, to do an unfiltered, raw look at what print on demand is so that you can watch this and make an informed decision if it's the right thing for you. But what I said before was about print on demand being the easiest option. I know I'm kind of going against everything I'm saying by saying it's easy, but what I mean by that is individual tasks in print on demand are easy. And let me explain that for you, because my own personal experience here. I started an Amazon FBA business, which involved finding a product, finding suppliers who didn't speak very good English, speaking to hundreds of different suppliers in China and India and various other countries, even the UK. The UK was a bit easier. But speaking to different suppliers, negotiating prices, understanding air and sea shipments and customs and all of these pretty complicated things to get that business going. And that was before we even got our first sale. That is a tough business. That is a difficult business with difficult individual tasks. And I'm not even starting on Amazon and navigating the whirlpool of madness that is Amazon. You know, Amazon's customer service, Amazon Seller Central, understanding advertising, understanding stock. What happens when your stock gets lost? And what happens when you have stock fees and oversized stock fees and shipping labels that haven't been put on properly? There's so much to think about, and there's so many individual difficult tasks. With print on demand, the reason why I say it's easy is because the individual tasks on print on demand are signing up for Etsy, creating some designs, doing research, making a captivating title. These are not difficult things, you know. These are very, very straightforward things. Coming up with a title is not hard. You know, it might take a bit of research and A/B split testing and trial and error, but it's not hard. You're also not losing much except for your time. With our first shipment on Amazon FBA, we could have lost thousands. In fact, we were this close to losing $10,000 flat, just like that, when we had a supplier try to scam us. Literally this this close. I was like about to click pay on PayPal. Oh, it wasn't even PayPal. It was a bank transfer. Even worse. Yeah, it was not WeTransfer. WeTransfer is the other. It's TransferWise. I haven't used it in years. I don't ever want to go there again. But it was. I was like literally so close to sending $10,000 to a supplier, and we would have lost that immediately. With print on demand, you're not really doing that. Yes, you might have to pay for your listings on Etsy, which is 20 cents. Big whoop. You know, you might have to, if you want to go down the Shopify route or the Facebook ads route, you might have a couple of $100 there. Also not the end of the world. So the individual tasks of print on demand are easy. What is difficult, and this is for all business, is the mindset. So yes, print on demand is easy. The mindset's flipping hard. Amazon FBA, the business is hard. The mindset is also flipping hard. So like whatever business you do, the mindset will always be really, really hard, and you've got to get over that. You've got to work on that mindset. Read books, watch videos, take training, whatever you do, try and find a mentor. You know, I'd love to be that person, but like that is the hard element. The actual core concepts of the business are quite straightforward when it comes to print on demand, which is why I'm a massive advocate for trying print on demand, because people say it's saturated now and it's not possible. BS. I literally started a shop in the last month and a half and it's already doing well. So that's not true. It's very possible to make print on demand work these days. The next thing is people will say they're too late, or people will say they don't have any design knowledge, or people will say they can't do research, people will say they don't understand how to get sales. All of these things are things that you can learn. It is not too late to start print on demand. And the reason why I'm such a massive advocate is because I believe with the right mindset and with the right motivation, the right driving force, anyone, literally anyone, can do it. And it's as simple as that. You can be 15 years old, you can be 20 years old, you can be 50 years old. I was in Australia a few months ago, right? And we pulled up, we had a camper van, me and my wife, and we pulled up to this random campsite. Where was it? It was by the Whitsundays. Beautiful place to go to. Absolutely stunning. I parked the camper van. There was another camper van also there. And a woman came out. She was probably in her 60s. Maybe she was 65. And she just looked at me in a weird way. And I was like, okay. So I was like, hi. And she's like, I really recognize you. I was like, you don't recognize me. Like, there's no way. I'm on the other side of the world here. And she's like, no, I recognize you. I don't know where from. I was like, could it be from YouTube? She's like, yes, print on demand. Oh, what's your name again? So I said, my name is Shimmy. And she goes, oh, Shimmy Morris, yes. And it made me realize that anywhere in the world you can do this. She had been traveling for, I think it was, she said it's 7 or 8 years in a camp van with her sister, doing accounting and various businesses like print on demand. So location freedom, she was doing it. She was over 60. It didn't make a difference to her, you know? And that is when I realized the true power of print on demand, that anyone, anywhere can do it. You've just got to have that driving force. So if you've gotten this far in the video, firstly, thank you so much. Well, just give yourself a pat on the back, because this hasn't been a highly entertaining video. It's just hopefully been really informative. But if you've gotten this far, leave a comment down below. What is your driving force? Why have you picked print on demand? If you can't think of something, then I suggest maybe considering another path. But if you already have it, let me know in the comments. I'll try and respond to every single comment I get. I really, really think without a driving force, it's impossible to succeed. But with a driving force, anything is possible. So let me know in the comments. I hope you've liked this video. I definitely want to do more like this where there's no flashy editing. I'm just giving you raw, honest truth about what's happened to me, my stories. I'd love to make a story about how I made 1.3 million online. There's so much that I want to talk about in a way to help you, to motivate you, and to get you getting sales. And if that's something you want to see, let me know. And of course, if you want to sign up to my weekly newsletter, the links will be down below. The one-to-one coaching, all of these different things, the links are all down below to everything that I'm offering. But besides that, I really hope this video helped you. I hope it helped you see what print on demand is like, what you should be expecting, and whether or not you want to do it. So yeah, thank you.